All right, here's an overview of WHOOSH. It's an AI fitness app that works with your Apple Health data. So if you wear a wearable like an Apple Watch or a Whoop band or a Fitbit, or even if you just track steps on your phone, usually in most cases that data ends up getting sort of aggregated to Apple Health. And so you have like your charts and all that stuff in Apple Health, and that's great. But what do the charts mean when the charts are going up, when they're going down? How different metrics relate to each other? Well, what does that mean? And so that's why I built Whoosh to basically allow you to sort of ask questions and using AI, sort of like ChatGPT, where you're having a conversation, but it has access to your health data. So it's not going to give you a generic answer. It's going to give you a specific answer based on your recorded health data that is on your phone. Um, each morning, you'll get sort of like a daily recap that shows the previous day's results. So you can see here 18,000 steps, resting heart rate 36, burned calories over the last day, and sleep. And then there's suggestions, and so there's like quick actions. So if you don't quite know what you want to ask, there's like these suggestions here. And so the cool thing about some of the suggestions here is, as you can see, maybe you want to see how your sleep and your heart rate are connected, or how your days where you work out, how that impacts your sleep. And so you can ask those questions. And then weekly, we actually generate a voice note that shows up in your sort of chat feed from your AI coach. And the AI coach is going to basically look at all of your activity, workouts, steps over the last week, and it sort of knows your goals. And so it's going to produce about a 3 or 4 minute sort of recap at the end of every week that sort of like tells you how you did the last week, how you're doing towards your goals, and gives you ideas for staying motivated and reaching your goals. Um, and yeah, so these are the different sort of um, health metrics that we can read from. And there's actually a bit more. So if I actually open up the app itself, as you can see, this is sort of I could ask about my VO2 max, and so you can see is my VO2 max improving? The AI is going to actually request that data from Apple Health. And it says your VO2 max over the past month is actually declining. You're at 43 milliliters today, but your weekly average is at 54. That means your cardiorespiratory fitness has dipped, though your overall score is still in the good range. So that's helpful if you're sort of trying to if you're trying to like optimize your VO2 max. We have this concept of a fitness age. If I ask what is my fitness age, it's actually going to grab a bunch of different data points. So it grabs your gender, your age, your VO2 max, a bunch of heart rate data, your height, your weight. And so I'm 39. It says that, based on your fitness snapshot for today, you're 33 years old. And so above average VO2 max, HRV is in the normal range. So as you can see, kind of interesting. It does all this sort of stuff pretty good. And just waiting for it to finish here. The other really cool feature that it can do is if you click the camera icon here, you can take a picture of your meals. So, let's say I'm having sushi for lunch. I can just send that message off, and I can say analyze. It'll analyze the meal. And so what it's going to do is it uses AI to detect the calories and macronutrients in this meal. And so you can see total calories 180, 16 grams of protein, 21 grams of carbs, 4 grams of fat, 0 fiber. And so it breaks it down even more here. And so that's super helpful if you're trying to track calories, be in a calorie deficit or a surplus. I can say like, am I in calorie deficit today? I probably am, because this is one meal, right? And so, but if you're tracking all of your meals, it's going to kind of calculate them up and be able to answer that question. So if you're really trying to like make sure that you're in a calorie deficit every day because you're trying to lose weight, you can do that. Or if you're trying to put on muscle, you can say like, did I hit my protein levels for today? And it's going to tell you if you hit your protein levels. On this page here, you can actually see sort of a visual of like how well you're tracking all of your sort of information. And so the first half is like all sensor data. So we've got all of these permissions turned on for Apple Health. And then the blue are like actual like insights that you share about the that you share. And so these are things that I've shared, but I can also go back in here and I can say like, hey, I live near Central Park and also have a gym in my building, right? So I can say that, and then it will save that as an insight. And so whenever it's giving me recommendations, whenever it's giving me ideas for how to exercise or whatnot, it's going to take that into consideration. So when that weekly voice note shows up, it'll probably reference like, why not go take a walk in Central Park in the evenings or something like that, or like use the gym in your building. And so you get like super hyper personalized experience with this app. It knows all about your health. It knows all about your lifestyle behavior based on what you've told it. It knows all about what you're eating and putting into your body. And so really you have this like 360-degree view of sort of your health. And so we can sort of see, we see the logged meal here. I can delete it if I want to remove that meal. You can see the recent question that I just, the recent thing that I just told it. I live near Central Park. I also have a gym in my building. You can see that it stored that data, and you can delete it if you don't want to remember certain things. Yeah, so that is basically it. Let's see here. I think there's a podcast up here that I can give you a sample of. I call it a podcast. It's a voice note.
Let's get right to it. I see you're aiming to drop 20 pounds, a strong, clear goal. You identify as male, and right now you're 39 years old.
It's pretty generic right now because this literally was like at the beginning of using the app, and I didn't have any data in there, and so it's just kind of generic. But the longer you use the app, the more data you share, the more data it has, the more personalized and bespoke these things will get. And so whether you have an Apple Watch, a Whoop Band, a Fitbit, or any other way that you're tracking your health, as long as that data gets into Apple Health, Whoosh is going to allow you to talk with it in an intelligent way using AI and really sort of be like a personal performance coach in your pocket.